Lesson number 2, hand entry. Hand entry is really vital, and you think, gee, what can I do to my hand to muck up my stroke? Well, a lot. And I'll tell you the 3 big areas that are the 3 big problems. Number 1, I see a lot of people where they nose dive down with thumb entry first. And as they nose dive down, you can kind of see this angle right now. What typically happens is my elbow is below my wrist joint line. And so as the hand comes in here, simultaneously the elbow starts to drop. The second one is I quite often see a flexed wrist, and so I'll see the wrist almost at 90-degree flexion on the entry, and this is even more common with some of the advanced swimmers. They're coming over the top of the water, and they're used to this sort of melodic kerplunk as they put it in, and it looks just like this. I say, well, that's ineffective. Look at your elbow position on this. You've got to keep that elbow up, and you have to keep your hand in neutral. The third one is your hand everts to the outside. In other words, it dashes to the outside. So I have my hand angle in this position. So what's the correct one? Ideally, right before the hand enters the water, the hand and wrist should be in a neutral position, just as I'm showing you here. And the fingers are all in the line, and they're lightly touching each other. I don't want them spread like a cat, but lightly touching each other. And the thumb can be held in fairly tight. A little bit of space is fine. Once the hand goes in the water, if you think of your middle finger as a pointer, that pointer should point straight ahead, and I don't want that hand to deviate by adding wrist flexion on the front end or eversion on the outside, and I certainly don't want the elbow to drop. So just getting the hand placement is really critical on this second step, and getting the proper hand position. I went through a number of hand positions on the entry where the hand's deviated, it's turned in, it's flexed on the entry, and really the ideal spot is a straight-on shot. If you think of that middle finger as a pointer, and as that hand cuts through the surface of the water, the trajectory is shallow and it's straight ahead. And you want to make sure that that hand is in neutral, just like this. We don't have any flexion when you put it in. We certainly don't have any hyperextension, nor any deviation. So we can kind of fiddle with this hand position, and you can also go with a paddle or without a paddle on there, and all of a sudden you'll start to feel pressure differences. So when you put that hand in, you actually minimize the drag, and you actually get a little bit of lift on that hand, and that sets you up for this critical third phase, which is the trajectory into the high elbow set.